Muslim.
Can you tell us about your journey from Christianity to Islam?
I'll tell you the story how it happened. I had to have been 19, probably right around 20. I was driving to church. I was going to teach my youth ministry, which they were from 15 to 18. That was the age group that I was teaching. I was at war with myself. Like, I needed God. I needed Him in my life. I needed the right path to God. I was sitting there. I had my Wrigley's spearmint chewing gum in my mouth. I was chewing, and I'm driving my Ford F-150 down a highway in Mississippi, going to church. I said, okay, God, please show me the way. Show me this path that you want me to be in. Show me the truth. I need it now. Please, God, please give it to me. And it just in my mind, I said, you know what? So I'm going to take this gum, and I'm not going to look, and I'm going to throw it. And I said, if it goes out that window, then I'm no longer going to believe in Jesus as God, and I'm just going to pray to God. So I threw that piece of chewing gum, and then I turned my head, and I looked down. I pulled over on the side of the highway. I got out. I walked around the truck. I opened the door. I searched high. I searched low. The gum was gone. Got back in the truck, and I passed right by the church. So after this event had taken place, I met someone that I had knew when I was in college studying. He's from Saudi Arabia. His name's Ali Al-Ghamdi. He's from the very southern tip of Saudi Arabia, a place called Bisha. We had met up. He asked me, he says, what's your religion? And I told him, I said, I'm without religion. He says, what do you mean? What's this? There's no such thing as without religion. What do you believe? I said, well, I pray to God. And he says, okay. He said, so are you a Christian? I said, no, I'm not a Christian. He said, well, what do you think Jesus, peace be upon him, is? I said, he's a prophet. He's a man just like me and you. He says, so he's not the son of God? And I said, no, he's a man. He's a prophet. He delivered a word, and he delivered a message, and I believe what he said was true. And he said, okay. He says, well, what do you think about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him? And I said, well, he says, do you think he's a prophet? I said, yeah, I do. I said, I think he's a prophet. He had a word also, but I don't believe that was for me. I believe that it was for a different group of people. And he looked at me, and he stuck his finger in my face, and he says, you're a Muslim, man. And then I returned the finger, and I said, no. I said, I'm not a Muslim, and my name and that word will never be connected. So that day, there was something inside me. It was like a dot. There was some type of dot that had been put in my heart. So back in the day, I had my old Packard Bell. It was not many people know what a Packard Bell is today. They don't exist. And so I would go on there, and I would ask Jeeves, which Jeeves was the Google of today back then. So I would go and ask Jeeves, just type in Islamic topics. One day I'd come home from work, and I was, just following my normal routine. Come home from work, take off my shoes and everything, get comfortable, and sat down at my computer. What is Islam? Give the 5 pillars of Islam. When I read them, for some reason, I read La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, and I said, I believe that. And then I read, make Hajj, to fast, to pay zakat, to pray. Every pillar that I read, it was like something had opened. I can't explain it. It was like if my heart was being painted or a light was opening inside me. Then once I had finished reading all the 5 pillars, I knew that I couldn't go any other direction. That was the only direction that I could go. And there was a link. It said how to be Muslim. So I clicked that link, and there was a small PDF that opened up. I'm holding this piece of paper, and then I went to the bathroom. I took my Shahada in a bathroom. By myself, I went in the bathroom. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. I washed myself in the bathroom, and then from that point, I started praying.
My beloved brothers and sisters, giving dawah to non-Muslims is a beautiful act of worship that pleases Allah. You don't need to be a scholar or know everything. Just share what you know with sincerity and kindness. Even a small reminder, a short message, or a good example can become a means of guidance for someone. Allah rewards every effort, no matter how small it seems. When you invite someone to Islam, you are helping them discover the truth about their Creator. Many people have never heard the real message of Islam, or the only know it through misunderstandings. When you explain it gently and respectfully, you open the door for them to understand Allah's mercy, oneness, and guidance. Your words might remove doubts they have carried for years. Your character plays a major role in da'wah. When non-Muslims see your honesty, kindness, humility, and patience, they see Islam through your actions. Good manners attract hearts faster than arguments. Your behavior becomes a silent invitation, showing them the beauty of Islam without pressure or force. Allah will reward you greatly for calling others to His path. Even if someone doesn't accept Islam immediately, Your effort is written with Allah, and if a person accepts Islam because of your da'wah, you receive a reward equal to all the good they do, without your reward decreasing. Invite with love, speak with wisdom, and trust that guidance is in Allah's hands.